Well, boys, I still love the FA Cup. This is Red Card Radio. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, whenever you're listening from. Thanks for tuning in. Red Card Radio is a weekly look at the Premier League from three friends who support different clubs. My name is James. I support Arsenal. With me tonight, that's Brad up top. He supports Chelsea. Down below, that's Sean. He supports Tottenham. Brad, I think you still love the FA Cup, right?
I love the FA Cup, bro.
Yeah.
Yes.
Sean, I think you don't love the FA Cup.
The FA Cup doesn't love me.
Yeah, tough weekend for you guys, but you bounce back stronger. Or as Thomas Frank said, something about how every day we're learning more. But we'll get into that and more here on this review of I guess it's just English football this weekend. But before we get into that, hit the subscribe button, ring the sub notification bell if you're on YouTube. If you're on one of the podcast sites, hit it with a follow, 5-star review. Let us know where you're listening from, to who you send your support, and share it with a friend. Do all those things. Operation Trick Google, always and forever still in effect. So help us out there. And let's get into it, boys. So since we last spoke last Friday, we had a few extra Premier League games that we didn't touch on last week. Then we had the FA Cup. Anything in particular you guys want to start with? That you feel so inclined to talk about? Brad, you look
I got something for Frank to learn, but I'll go after Brad.
Okay.
No. I had to guess where Sean wanted to start. It wasn't going to be Spurs. But I mean, since it is my floor, Liam starts his tenure with a big win.
Starts his tenure in January.
That was a pregnant refusal to say his last name there, Brad.
Of course it was. Now there's two Liams. I don't even think the lap played, but Rosenier.
I thought it was Rosenier.
As long as I say something nice. Listen, Rosenier, on the video he said it doesn't matter as long as you say something nice. So
that's true.
Great job, Rosenier.
We're gonna have a deep cut on movies that people have most likely not watched, but he went Rosenier on that one, and my mind flashed to how the manager couldn't get Henry Rosengartner's name right on Rookie of the Year, and he calls him. It was Rowan Gardner was his last name. He calls him Rosenbagger, Rosenhauser. Like it's everything but his name.
You know who really appreciated that reference just now? Jimmy really appreciated that, because he is not only a sports aficionado, he is a movie guy. So
yes,
Jimmy, he's gonna pause the podcast. He's gonna rewind it 30 seconds. He's probably gonna show it to his wife and be like, "Look, they hit all the points that I care about: sports and movies." But so yes, Chelsea gets a good start to the Rosenior
era? Tenure.
I don't know what to say, because
18 months.
I have a feeling, a personal feeling about Chelsea, that it kind of seems to me that the Chelsea under Roman Abramovich compared to the Chelsea under Blueco, that the Chelsea we all feared in the mid-2000s is no longer exists. And so I don't really know what to make of this. He said all the right things in the press conferences. He speaks really well.
Sure.
And not in the sense that he is well spoken, but just rather that his ideas and like the way he presents what he's trying to do all seem like they make a lot of sense. Now, of course, you guys did lose midweek against Fulham. I think he was in the stands for that one. I don't think
he was. He was. It's not his fault. He was in the stands.
Not his fault. Okay. Absolutely.
Yeah, no, it was Caleb's fault. Caleb got beat.
Gosh.
Tied Pep and then got beat.
Terrible.
Could have been 100%.
Could have been.
Could have, would have, should have, right?
Even though I don't think draws are 100%. And let's be honest, a match against Charlton is not necessarily the first stern test.
Oh, no.
But
Oh no.
but
Oh no.
as you've just tuned into this podcast, if you turn your television on and you go to Paramount Plus, you could be watching Liam Rosenya's first test in the EFL Cup semifinal against Arsenal on right now as this podcast is airing it. What is this like? It's what 3:05 right now, and so
Ah,
the game started
Chelsea
at
scored the
3.
first goal. Game's over. Chelsea won.
Yeah, we'll see about that, Brad. But that's probably going to be the first actual. That's kind of a trial by fire for him, like going up against
Yeah.
m-
Arsenal.
maybe the best team in England, maybe not the best team in England, but definitely one of the best teams in England.
Yeah. That's
So
crazy.
it's a tough start.
It's interesting.
It'll be interesting to see how they do. I don't know who do you guys have this weekend. Brentford. Okay, Brentford's a. I mean, they're hot.
A good test.
They're actually pretty hot.
Yeah.
So, but if you want to hear us talk about that, you'll have to come back on Friday.
Ooh, teaser.
So Brad, I think you were trying to allude to the fact that you figured Sean would want to start in Wales at
I did.
at the racecourse ground.
Yes. But I guess his excitement was eaten up by the Spurs loss. But Sean,
Yeah.
how are our boys in the championship doing this weekend? How'd they do this weekend?
Well, you're talking about Wrexham.
Yes, Wrexham.
I
Who
thought, I
else
thought
are we
you.
talking about?
I thought you were making a dig at Tottenham because we're basically
No.
we're basically a championship team. So
No, not this. No, we
No,
said in Wales.
Wrexham got the big win against Forest, 4-3 on penalties.
Yeah,
it was
they did.
It
They
was
did.
quite the match.
It's the first time they've beaten Premier League teams since the '90s, I believe. I believe that's right.
I don't know.
Well, yeah, you're the championship expert here, sir.
Yeah, I am. They are currently, unless they've played another game by now, they are currently 1 point out of the 1 point out of the
Playoff.
playoff. Yeah, which is, I think, the season's long, right? They've still got a long way to go. They're not in or out right now, but I think we all could agree this is pretty remarkable, even with quote unquote bukus of money and buying your way to the top. This is still incredibly impressive.
But they no
It-
longer
it-
have comparative to the
Yeah,
to the
that's the
teams
other thing.
to the clubs that they're playing against now. They don't have bukus of money. They are firmly like a mid-sized club in the championship compared to the because there are
I would-
big boys in the championship and there are minnows in the championship. They're kind of in the middle.
Yeah, I would say I don't know how much they partnered with that Capital Group out of upstate
Oh,
New York.
That's true.
I
Those-
don't know how rich they are or how much they're in for, but as far as just Rob and Ryan, they are on the probably lower third of
I mean,
of net.
Ryan's a
of
billionaire
value.
now.
No, Ryan's not a billionaire.
I think he is. I think didn't he with
think he is.
Mint Mobile and everything like that and
Mint Mobile and his gin and yeah,
Well,
And Wrexham.
he sold aviation, but
right, for like 400 million, and then he sold Mint for like 400 million, and he has an ad agency that's valued at more than that. So yeah, I think he got a Billy,
but even still,
but close enough.
even still,
He'd still be mid table. He'd still be mid range.
yeah, I think that they're maybe upper mid half of the because I'm pretty sure the group that they sold a stake to is fairly wealthy. But
yeah,
regardless of their
but still,
position,
yes.
regardless of their position in the championship, knocking Forest out, and Forest was playing a decently strong side. Like Sean Dyche didn't rock up to that game and rest Morgan Gibbs White and everyone. Like they had their squad out there essentially.
Yeah.
And Wrexham were up 3-1 for a very long time.
Mm-hmm. Yep. It felt like Forrest decided to play.
Or was it 2-1 and then 2-2 and then 3-2 and then 3-3? Maybe that's how it went. Maybe that's what happened. But
I know Wrexham gave up a lead twice. I know that.
yeah, okay, then that's probably what it was. Maybe it was 2-0, 2-1, 2-2, 3-2, 3-3. Either way, that's a tremendous result for Wrexham.
Yeah.
And what's interesting about it is that it's not even the most remarkable result against the Premier League side in the FA Cup.
I was
this
going to
weekend.
point that out.
Macclesfield Town beat the holders Crystal Palace 2-1.
This is the first non-league side to beat the champion since like before Pearl Harbor.
Yeah.
He was 39.
So what's
But that
interesting is
is
I don't
wow.
know if I don't know if you guys saw the video, but one of the main players one of the main players of Macclesfield has a day job in which he is a teacher.
Mhm.
And
Yes.
when he returned to work, he got a big ovation from the school that he teaches at, which I thought was
Yes.
pretty remarkable. That this guy's
Yeah.
got to go to work the next day after beating a Premier League team in the FA Cup.
Now,
Magic of the Cup.
who did they pull? They pulled Brentford for the 4th round, but it's at home.
Yes.
Maybe they rock up and do it again.
One
You
more
know,
time.
let's keep it rocking, man. So I didn't actually spend any. Maybe this is my fault, but I probably should have looked into the side that Crystal Palace played in that. Like, did they play their guys? Let's look at this. Crystal Palace.
If they didn't play him, they certainly subbed him on.
Yeah. I mean, Brennan Johnson came on at some point. Adam Wharton.
I can
Yeah,
assure you that Brennan
it's
Johnson did not come on in the Palace Macclesfield game.
he. Brennan Johnson.
Oh, he's already there playing?
Yeah, dude.
Yeah,
He's
bro.
that
Oh,
that
I
that
didn't
that
realize it was
trans.
fully through, all the way gone, shirted up,
Yeah, that transfer
registered.
that transfer happened on like the 2nd of January.
Yeah.
So that's official. That's been officially official. Yeah, so it's kind of a mixed bag for
Well, Adam
Palace.
Wharton was playing. They put everybody that they
Gahey,
had on the bench to
Richards.
play.
Yeah.
Yeah. They
So
brought in Tyreek. They brought in Brendan. Yeah. No,
brought on
this
Will
is
Hughes, but it was a mixed bag to begin with. And obviously,
and
I think we'd all agree that Crystal Palace would rather win the Conference League, right?
yes. 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 Yes.
And so maybe they took it as an opportunity. Glasner took it as an opportunity to kind of rest some players, which I don't, or maybe rest players is not necessarily the best word, but give other players an opportunity, which I think is what you're supposed to do in the cup. Like
Sure.
you shouldn't be playing all of your, but you're also the holder. I mean,
But you
I don't
expect
know.
you're expected to
Macclesfield,
no.
you should
Listen.
have beat
Yes,
them.
you can. You should be. Your U18 should rock up and beat them.
Probably, maybe
Like,
not.
I'm sorry.
Maybe,
Maybe your U23s, whatever.
yeah.
Am I remembering right that it was not long ago, maybe 2 or 3 years ago, that United got beat by a non-league team
No, it was
fairly
a League
recently?
One. It was a
It
League
was
One
League
or it
One. Okay,
was League
so
One or
that
League Two. So yeah, it wasn't a strong side,
I
but it
mean,
it
wasn't
was League.
non-league.
It
they
was League
lost
Two.
to Grimsby
Okay,
Town in the EFL Cup this fall.
maybe that
Maybe that's what
maybe
you're thinking
that's
about.
maybe that's
Yeah.
what I'm thinking
The
about.
Carabao Cup. I
Um,
don't know. In the 4 matches that featured Premier League on Premier League uh, opponents, you had Everton Sunderland. That game ended in a draw. You had Newcastle Bournemouth. That game ended in a draw. Those both went to penalties. Now Sunderland rocked up and just that was the shortest possible penalty kick out shootout. Ends 3-0 for Sunderland.
What you'd
Newcastle.
expect was Pickford not in the net?
I assume not, but I'm
He had
not
to have
sure.
got to one. He probably should have got to one. Well, okay. They also should have buried, but yeah. Sorry, I didn't mean to throw
No,
everything
it's
off
okay.
there. Your thought.
Newcastle beat Bournemouth 7-6 on penalties, and I think if we asked Joel would probably tell us that was a tremendously important result for Eddie Howe and his future, and whether or not, like, if he can win the FA Cup, then I think maybe that buys him more time. I'm not sold on that personally. I kind of think that he's out at the end of the season, regardless of what happens. But that's just kind of my
Yeah,
read of the situation.
I feel like it's does he make it to the end of the season now?
Yeah, and
Because like
then
you also should have won that game. They gave that game away, if
did
I
they?
remember correctly. If I
Well,
remember correctly, they gave that game away.
that's kind of also the situation against Leeds is that they were winning and then let Leeds back into the game and needed a
Yep.
late winner to win that game as well. In the other 2 matches finished 2-1 for the visitors. Spurs lose at home again, this time to Aston Villa in the cup, and United lose to Brighton 2-1 at Old Trafford. What's I mean, I was gonna say what's going on with Spurs, but losing to Villa is not it's
Bad.
not it's not like it's an explainable result because Villa are really good this year.
It's actually
Uh, well, it's not. You said Frank's quote of what we're constantly learning.
Well, he was making some comment that like some people are hiding and some people are learning, something to that effect. And this is not a direct quote; it's kind of more like the spirit of the idea of what he
Was he
said.
was he attacking players? Is that what he was going after?
It's
I didn't see the
possible.
context
It's
of the
it's
question.
it's possible that he was kind of saying like some people aren't up for this fight.
Well, I've got something for him to learn. Uh, if something that could be top of his list to and get to the bottom of and really get the nuts and bolts learning out of the way. He could learn the location of the opponent's goal because I highly doubt you're going to find it within 30 yards of your own net. So that would be a good place to start as a manager. You're going to need to get closer to the other goal to be able to score.
But I think even you would recognize that Thomas Frank is a coach that knows how to like create goals. I mean, like look at if you remember Brentford last year, they had a knack of scoring off of kickoffs. Like that
Maybe
they scored like 5 games in a row within the first 5 minutes,
o-
something like that. It was
okay.
insane.
Then Brentford had proprietary intellectual properties over there that he was not allowed to take those ideas with him because they're still in Brentford. They're still in South. They're still in
or
Southwest London.
or hear me out. The Brentford team is what's better than the Tottenham team.
No. We've discussed this ad nauseum that it's easier to play against teams that want to play against you, and when you go to Tottenham,
Right.
teams
Yeah,
aren't going
sure.
to play against you. They're going to sit in a low block, and you've got to learn how to break them down. And so this is a learning curve for Thomas
Uh,
Frank and for this
well,
Tottenham side. They got to figure that out.
clearly, you didn't watch the Villa game because we were the team in a low block.
But that's different because Villa are good. I'm not saying. I mean, Arsenal play a low block, right? Like people decry Arsenal when we play defensively. So like I'm not saying
Yeah.
that's a bad thing. I'm not saying that playing defensively is a bad thing. I'm just saying that it's harder to score goals when you're putting 10 men behind the ball. Right?
Arteta cracked the code. Put 10 men behind the ball, draw a foul, free kick with 4 defenders.
I mean,
He cracked the code. Like that wasn't a joke. Like I wasn't trying to be mean or be
Yeah.
like, "Oh, he doesn't play football." No, he cracked the code on the modern game on how to beat these teams that are low blocking him.
I mean,
Then you win that 1-0 game.
to be
Yeah.
to be fair, we have the highest defensive line in the league statistically, but we also generally play with 4 center backs, much to the
Also, because
chagrin
you
of
have
Tamzid and 2
that
sixes. But
that highest. There's a direct line of correlation, I'm sure, with the highest average line and possession. You just have the ball a lot more, so your back line is higher more.
yeah, but then also, yes, I don't disagree with you. But then also, when you look at our attacks, um, the ball isn't being recycled to a 6. The ball is being recycled to a center back who is standing 10 yards into the opponent's half. Right?
Yeah.
Like so like if we go down the right and it doesn't work and Odegaard's passing it back out, he's not passing it to Zubamendi. He's passing it to Gabriel or Saliba, who are who are 10 yards into the opposition half.
Yeah.
And so it doesn't work well against Erling Haaland, and we saw that against City at the Emirates earlier this year. But it's worked fairly well against other teams. Obviously, clearly, it leaves you exposed in certain situations.
I just wish, like, when we was gosh, the games are all such a blur.
Yeah, there've been 100
Um,
over the last 3 weeks.
Yeah.
Maybe it was the Bournemouth game. I believe it was the Bournemouth game where we were up 2-0 at half. We played a different formation and we were attacking the entire first half, and for some reason decided, okay, that's enough, and then got picked apart. Um, And it's
We good.
infuriating. Like, just go back to what you were just doing. Like, just resume operation.
Yeah.
You are
We're sitting
already
off, yeah, we
doing it.
good.
You were already doing it. Just do that more. And so you kind of like prove you could do it. They were like suffocating to Bournemouth. I believe it was Bournemouth in the first half, and they were just oppressive. They were a bunch of there was a bunch of shots and attempts and close calls and balls whipped across the box, and we were very, very dangerous. And then decided, okay, we're done with that. Let's pack the offensive ball up and bring out the defensive ball. And it's just infuriating. I'm just having like the dog with the war montage, but like I'm just flashing Conte, Nuno, boring suffer ball without and same as before. You can withstand. Like, I'm sure, James, sometimes you're like, wow, this is really boring to watch, but you get results.
Yes.
So you can't have suffer ball if you're not getting results. I can't suffer and lose.
And this is my point about our team is that we're competitive. I don't care how we win. I just want to win. And so
Yeah,
everybody who's like poo-pooing Arteta for playing a certain style, I'm like, look, you and I, we're not entitled to any style of football, but we're getting wins, and that's all I care about.
that's it.
There have been too many seasons where we played beautiful champagne football and we didn't win because we would play against Jose Mourinho's Chelsea, and they would park a bus, and then they would win. I just want to win. Come
Yeah,
come May, I want my team to be hoisting the Premier League. Like, that's all I care about. And however
that's
we get there, whatever happens, however many corner kick goals we have to score, I don't care. Just just win.
yeah. That's
That's all that matters.
that's my general point. Is don't make me suffer and lose.
Which is a Spurs problem. Is
Yes,
you can't Spurs need to entertain because you don't have the history of
Winning?
and I'm not trying to be mean about it, but like you don't have that
No, but
history.
sorry, they did win a trophy last year and you didn't. So like,
Yeah, absolutely.
That's why the
I can
fans
throw
love Ange
shots.
so much, because
He
it
entertains.
wasn't suffer. We weren't getting the results, but it was also the opposite of suffer ball, which I will now give the nomenclature of wee ball. That's what it's called, where we just wee down the field.
All right. Notable fixtures coming up in the next round. Aston Villa, Newcastle.
Ooh.
It could be a good one. You got Chelsea and Hull, Liverpool, Brighton, Macclesfield, like we mentioned, Brentford. Manchester City have another easy game. They've got City. It's either Salford or Swindon Town. They've got the winner there. Port Vale, Bristol City, Southampton, Leicester, Stoke, Fulham, Wrexham. Wrexham has Ipswich, so Wrexham could keep going. Arsenal have
They
Wigan.
could.
You know, Leeds are going to Birmingham City. So this is there are, interestingly enough, there's 14 Premier League teams left, 11 Championship, 4 League One, 2 League Two, and just the one solitary League One team remaining.
You mean non-league team?
Non-league. What did I say?
League
What?
One.
Yeah, non-league. Thank you. One solitary
Yeah.
non-league team. So yeah, that's gonna do it for us in the FA Cup for at least a few weeks. I don't necessarily remember when the next round is taking place. It looks like mid-February, February 15th and 16th. So 14th, 15th, and 16th. So that weekend. So that's a couple weeks from now. And so we'll be back in a few weeks' time to talk about the FA Cup. You'll want to stick around on Friday and join us back again because we need to talk about Michael Carrick, the new Manchester
Ooh.
United manager. He's got to host Manchester City at Old Trafford
Ooh.
Saturday morning. You're not going to want to miss that. But until then, hit us up on social media. That guy up top, he's at KS Brad G. Down below, that's at Whiteheart_Sean. I am at James Tiffany. Collectively, we can be reached at redcard_radio, info.redcardradio@gmail.com if you want to email us. Hope you enjoyed it. Hope you'll be back on Friday, and I hope you hit the share button. But until then, have a good one, and we will talk to you soon.